Finland's RM-70 multiple rocket launcher fleet, locally designated as 122 RAK-89, forms a vital component of the Finnish Army's artillery arsenal, complementing the heavier M270 MLRS systems. As of April 2025, the fleet consists of 34 operational units, providing tactical fire support with a focus on mobility and rapid response. These 122mm systems, mounted on Tatra T8115 8x8 truck chassis, offer a lighter, more agile alternative to the tracked M270s, enabling Finland to maintain a versatile artillery capability suited to its challenging terrain and strategic needs. The RM-70, a Czechoslovakian design system developed in the early 1970s, is a heavier variant of the Soviet BM-21 Grad, entering service in 1972 as an upgrade with enhanced payload and mobility. Finland's adoption of the RM-70 in the early 1990s was driven by post-Cold War military modernization, leveraging surplus equipment from former Warsaw Pact nations to bolster its artillery at a low cost. The RM-70-85 variant in Finnish service, an unarmored version based on the Tatra T815 VPR-9 chassis with a 265 horsepower engine, can fire 40 rockets per salvo, delivering high explosive warheads up to 20 to 21 kilometers. While less advanced than the M270, which boasts precision-guided munitions and a 70-plus kilometers range, the RM-70's wheeled design and rapid salvo capability make it well-suited for tactical engagements in Finland's forests and bogs, aligning with the country's doctrine of mobile, dispersed artillery operations. Finland procured its RM-70 fleet in 1991, acquiring 36 units from surplus stocks of the former East German National People's Army following German reunification. This cost-effective purchase replaced Finland's aging Soviet-era 122 RAK-76, or BM-21 Grad launchers, which lacked the RM-70's mobility and payload capacity. By the early 1990s, the systems were fully integrated into Finnish service, with the current active fleet standing at 34 units, likely due to attrition or reserve storage. The acquisition reflected Finland's strategy of modernizing its artillery with affordable, proven platforms, while maintaining a robust defense posture along its 1,340-kilometer border with Russia. No additional RM-70 procurements have been reported, as recent investments have prioritized upgrading the M270 fleet to the M270A2 standard and acquiring advanced munitions like the Guided Multiple Launch Rocket System. The RM-70's primary role in the Finnish Army is to deliver tactical fire support, saturating enemy positions with rapid barrages to suppress infantry, light vehicles, and unfortified targets. Its 122mm rockets, fired in salvos of 40 and under 32 seconds, provide a psychological and destructive impact, making it ideal for frontline engagements and support of maneuver units. Unlike the M270, which is used for operational and strategic fires with precision munitions, the RM-70 operates within light artillery batteries, emphasizing mobility and responsiveness. Its wheeled chassis enables quick deployment and relocation, critical for avoiding counter-battery fire in Finland's defense-in-depth strategy. However, the system's reliance on unguided Soviet-origin 9M22 rockets limits its precision and interoperability with NATO standards, posing logistical challenges as Finland deepens its integration into the alliance. Finland has not deployed the RM-70 in combat operations, as its military focus remains on territorial defense and participation in training exercises, rather than overseas campaigns. The fleet is regularly employed in national and multinational exercises, such as those at the Rovajärvi training area, Finland's largest artillery range. While recent exercises like Dynamic Front 25 in November 2024 highlighted the M270A2, the RM-70s likely participate in similar drills to maintain readiness and demonstrate tactical artillery capabilities within NATO. Since Finland's accession to NATO in April 2023, the RM-70s have contributed to joint exercises, reinforcing interoperability with allies, though their Soviet-origin munitions constrain their role compared to NATO standard systems. No significant upgrades have been applied to Finland's RM-70 fleet, unlike the M270, which is undergoing a €450 million modernization to the M270A2 standard, approved in 2023. The RM-70-85 remains in its original configuration, with no reported adoption of advanced fire control systems or modular launchers like the Slovak RM-70 Modular, which can fire both 122mm and NATO standard 227mm rockets. The lack of upgrades reflects the RM-70's secondary role and the logistical complexities of its Soviet-era ammunition, which is not produced by NATO allies. Regular maintenance ensures the fleet's functionality, but the absence of modernization suggests Finland views the RM-70 as a legacy system, sufficient for tactical tasks without requiring substantial investment. The RM-70 fleet is operationally ready, supported by Finland's high state of military preparedness, universal male conscription, and defense spending of 2.3% of GDP in 2023. The 34 active units are distributed across artillery units, with some possibly in reserve or used for training. However, challenges include the aging platform, now over 30 years old, and the dwindling supply of 9M22 rockets, which complicates logistics in a NATO context. Finland's sustained focus on artillery readiness, as evidenced by its M270 upgrades and live-fire exercises, extends to the RM-70s, ensuring they remain functional for territorial defense scenarios, though their shorter range limits their strategic impact compared to the M270s. Looking ahead, no specific plans for the RM-70 fleet have been announced, with Finland prioritizing the M270A2 upgrade to extend its heavy rocket artillery into the 2050s, incorporating advanced munitions like precision strike missile and extended-range GMLRS. The RM-70s are likely to remain in service for tactical roles in their current configuration until phased out or replaced. Potential future scenarios include adopting a modular upgrade for NATO compatibility or transitioning the RM-70s to a reserve role, though budget constraints and the focus on high-impact systems like the F-35 and M270 make these unlikely in the near term. A modern replacement, such as the M142 HIMARS, could eventually supplant the RM-70, but no such plans are confirmed. The RM-70 fleet significantly enhances Finland's deterrence posture, contributing to its ability to counter ground threats along its border with Russia. Its mobility and rapid-fire capability provide tactical flexibility, supporting Finland's defense strategy while complementing the M270's long-range precision. Within NATO, the RM-70s bolster Finland's contribution to collective defense, particularly in exercises, though their impact is limited by non-standard munitions. Regionally, the fleet strengthens NATO's northern flank, reassuring Baltic allies and supporting Nordic cooperation with countries like Sweden and Norway. While less prominent than the M270, the RM-70's presence adds depth to Finland's artillery, signaling resilience to Russia and enhancing security in a volatile region. In conclusion, Finland's RM-70 fleet remains a reliable, if aging, asset for tactical fire support, playing a supporting role in a modernizing artillery force increasingly aligned with NATO standards.